So I haven't gone to a lot of shows this year, but recently I went to two shows, 2 days apart, and both from bands I absolutely love. One's been around forever, and the other one is the one that's featured behind me is a band called King Hannah. They're from Liverpool. It's really a duo. It's Hannah Merrick on vocals and guitar, and then Craig Whittle plays guitar as well. He's kind of the lead guitarist, and then they have this really tight band behind them. I mean, there was just kind of a powerhouse live. I was really pleasantly surprised by that. I knew it was going to be moody. I knew it was going to be really interesting. I mean, you've got this very kind of provocative, interesting female front person. Kind of reminds me of PJ Harvey or Mazzy Star or Portishead. Kind of has a whole vibe all her own at the same time. You know, sings in kind of this low voice, but also has a lot of almost like speak singing as well, and can really be quite dramatic live and have these amazing swells, instrumental builds, all that stuff. And it just sounded so cool sitting in the or standing in a very small club to see this band. This was at the Tractor Tavern in Seattle. And this was, just a few days ago. You know, I've liked this band ever since I heard this record behind me. This is from 2022. This is I'm Not Sorry, I'm Just Being Me. And I had it signed. I bought it at the show and had it signed by both of them. And then the latest one is called Big Swimmer. And it came out about a year ago. I think a year ago this month. And I really like this one right away. It's taking me a little bit longer to warm up to Big Swimmer. However, they featured a ton of songs from Big Swimmer, and now I am warming up quite a bit to Big Swimmer. I was mentioning the other day to a friend how sometimes with bands, when you see them live, it's either the close of a chapter where it's like you've been listening to this band a lot, or the latest record, and then you see them live, and it's like culminates to that. Like, okay, I've seen them live, and you almost close the door on it for a while, or that artist, because it all led up to that for you. And there's other artists where you see them live, and it kicks the door open, and you just want to listen to more and more of it. And both of these bands, one does one and one does the other. So this artist definitely kicked the door open for me. Now, I don't know this artist inside and out like I know the one next for the most part. I don't think anybody knows this artist completely. You'll see what I mean when I get to that. But King Hannah, there's so much to discover there within the songs, within the lyrics, within the albums. They only have 2 full lengths, have an EP. They do this absolutely amazing cover, and I'm going to link to it, of Bruce Springsteen's State Trooper. I don't know if it's possible to do a better version than the original, or at least I didn't think so. I don't think a cover could get better than this. Let's put it that way. And they did it a few years ago. There's a really good video. Like I said, I'm going to post it. I shot a video too, but I don't know. It didn't turn out nearly as good. And actually, I ran out of room on my phone during it, so I didn't capture the whole song.
License registration.
The other thing that I want to mention is just how much I enjoy seeing live music in Seattle when the weather's nice, and maybe this happens all year long to some extent. It's the only city that I've lived in where the doors seem to be just open at a show and the music pours out into the street. Now, I've seen it happen here at Tractor Tavern. I've also seen it happen at Neumos in Capitol Hill. It's just such a cool feeling to hear music just out on the street. You know, I was talking to my girlfriend that we could just, if we didn't have a ticket, we could have easily sat outside any number of establishments across the street or nearby and totally heard the show. I just love that. And we did step out a few times, just get some air, and we're outside, and you know, people were walking by, and what is that? What is that band? You know, and we talked to several people that wanted to come in. It was like, sometimes it was like, hey, you know, I think this is almost over, but definitely drew a lot of attention. I just love that aspect of music just pouring into the streets. So that was really cool. Love the show. Really intrigued by this band. It was the last night on their American tour, and I think they're kicking off another European tour really soon. But it was really cool. They said it was the second best attended show here in Seattle. Number one being New York, where they sold it out. So King Hannah, check them out if you haven't. The next artist has been around forever. I mean, the band that he's currently leads started in 1984. For the longest time, I couldn't see him. I really got into him around No More Shall We Part. So obviously I'm talking about Nick Cave. And that was like 2001, 2002. And I was living in Minneapolis at the time, and it just seemed impossible to see him. I learned later that he'd done a show in town on that tour, but I think I caught on to it afterwards, or I didn't know about it for years to come. One huge advantage of moving out west is I've gotten to see Nick Cave in the Bad Season, Nick Cave solo, and Grinder Man, although that was in Minneapolis, and yeah, on several tours, several times. I'll show the latest album. This is again kind of like with King Hannah. This was the last, or one of the last. I think there's two or three more shows after this one of their North American tour for Wild God. And I don't even know if there's more European dates. He's been touring this record forever, and this record actually was teased way, way, way before it came out. I don't remember waiting quite as long for any record to come out as I did for this record. It was announced, and it was like something like 7 or 8 or 9 months later it came out. So seeing him live has been a long wait, because it announced the record takes forever to come out, then he tours Europe, then he tours North America, and Seattle here ends up being like one of his last stops. So how was the show? So like I said, I've seen him several times. Grinder Man was the first, probably, and that first Grinder Man might have been the second, I don't remember, 2007, 2008. And then I got to see him. I moved out west in 2013. I saw him twice on Push the Sky Away, once on Skeleton Tree. I saw him do his Stories thing, Conversations with Nick Cave. I also saw him with Warren Ellis, which was an incredible show about 3 years ago here in Seattle. And then, recently, just a few days ago, 2 days after I saw King Hannah, I saw Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds on the Wild God tour. So what were my thoughts? Okay, I've been waiting forever to see the Bad Seeds again. The tour that I saw for Skeleton Tree, I saw the Berkeley, California performance at the Greek Theater, was absolutely incredible. He was working through a lot of grief, as we know, and that was a pretty dark album, but it just felt so communal and amazing seeing him in the band live at that show, on that tour. Let me just start off by saying I'm not a huge fan of this album. It's the only Nick Cave record I've bought in recent memory. Well, actually, Ghost Teen took me a long time to warm up to it. But it's the only one where I've been just kind of lukewarm on still, after playing it quite a few times. So the Nick Cave show and the Bad Seeds was amazing. I mean, anybody who's seen him knows this. He is an absolute incredible performer. He is more on than any performer, night after night, time after time, than maybe I've ever seen. I don't get the feeling that Nick Cave is ever thinking about what's he going to have for dinner, or some conversation he had with somebody, or anything other than what is going on in that moment, playing that song for people. I was absolutely amazed by how he could go to a song like one of the songs off Carnage, like punch you in your effing face, I shoot you in your effing face. He goes from that, like this just super intense song, or even something like Papa Won't Leave You Henry, and then he goes right into something like I Need You, so fragile. He looks like he's crying up there. His tears, his eyes are totally like filled with tears, and you don't feel for a second this guy is faking it. That's what's so amazing about the guy. I really believe that he inhabits those songs and those emotions and everything it takes to deliver them, and he is 100% with you, and you're with him. And it's a rare thing. It's a master class for anyone who wants to, I guess, be in a band or be that kind of performer, because he has it in spades. He knows what he's doing. and he's just so brilliant to watch. It's just amazing to watch him on the stage doing what he does. A mixture of old songs, new songs. Did Tupelo, did From Her to Eternity. Of course, he did Mercy Seat. He did just about one song off recent albums. Like he didn't, he did one song, I Need You, off Skeleton Tree. He did Jubilee Street off Push the Sky Away. I think he did Bright Horses off of Ghosteen. And then, yeah, mostly the new album, about 8 songs off, and I think there's 10 total on here, 10 or 11. So, excellent show, great show. My only disappointment was just the material. I'm not, like I said, I'm not in love with this album. I think the religious stuff goes a little too far sometimes for my taste. Multiple big refrains, big celebrations of joy, which is cool. And there's a song called Joy in here, and he did the song Joy, but I just get a little tired of that side of him. And I think the only disappointment, there's too much of this album, which robs you from the other albums I wish that he was playing more songs off of. But this is a Wild God tour. The other thing that was really cool, I mean, the band was amazing. I mean, every single member was really good. It was really cool watching Colin Greenwood from Radiohead be up there on bass, and it seems like they've got some kind of musical partnership going on now too. I know that after this tour wraps up, and probably by the time you see this video, he is going back to Europe or the UK and doing this tour, solo tour, which I would love to see, with Colin Greenwood. So who knows, maybe that'll come here at some point. I kind of doubt it, but real treat. And the other real treat compared to like European audiences where they tend to see him in big venues, from what I've heard, he still is a much smaller draw here, and we're able to see it in a theater. So yeah, excellent. I mean, he showed up at one point. He loves to get in the audience. He was we were in row W, so I don't know, 20 rows back maybe. It didn't feel that way. It felt very close, but he's up in a few rows ahead of us at one point, being held up by people and shaking hands and stuff. If you've never seen Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, definitely go see him at some point. Them or him solo too. Whatever version of him shows up, he's always worth seeing. I think he's a must see every single time. But yeah, I feel very fortunate that he did come here and we were finally able to see him. We had these tickets forever. The lead up, like I said, with the album was forever, but it was all worth the wait, and it was a really cool show. So yeah, just reminders for me just how amazing live music can be and how rejuvenating it can be to be in an audience and just feel like you're really experiencing something special together. And we need that more than ever these days. So thanks for watching, everybody. Really appreciate it. If for some reason you haven't subscribed, please do. It does help me out. I hardly ever mention it, but close to a milestone, and looking forward to hitting it. So thank you very much again. And make sure to leave your comments. Did you get to see him on this tour? I know that, like I said, he's been on tour for a long time. And tell me about King Hannah. Tell me if you listen to the video that I'm going to include, tell me what you think of it. Tell me what you thought of them, and your thoughts on music, the state of music in May 2025. All right, thank you.